everyone, A. Drumus at Retro Karts and More, and I'm going to take a moment to talk about the Nintendo Entertainment System Family Fun Fitness line. Originally released in 1986 as the Family Trainer series in Japan, it eventually made its way to the United States as Family Fun Fitness in 1987, and consisted of a square mat with multiple squares that was plugged into the second port of your Nintendo Entertainment System. This mat was the substitute for the controller and was used for running and jumping. Only 2 games were released for the Family Trainer series. That's right, folks. You are looking at the complete library of games released for the Family Fun Fitness Pad. The North American, or NTSC, Stadium Events, along with Athletic World by Bandai. Athletic World was originally paired up with the Family Fun Fitness Mat in a set released in 1987. Stadium Events was released later that year during the holiday season. However, in 1988, Nintendo purchased the North American rights to the Family Fun Fitness series, and as a result retooled and relabeled the 2 games to reflect compatibility with the all-new NES Power Pad instead. This resulted in the 2 Family Fun Fitness branded games, as well as Bandai's version of the running pad to be recalled and presumed destroyed. Athletic World was changed slightly. And by slightly, I mean the only Family Fun Fitness title and the series number is removed. It's literally the same game. The box and manual for Athletic World, however, was changed completely, which now makes it a collector's item. Now, Stadium Events suffered a completely different fate, as it was re-released under an entirely different name known as World Class Track Meet. The gameplay is identical to Stadium Events, except for the screen title. Now, it's these events, as well as the limited distribution and availability of the game, that has made Stadium Events the rarest licensed North American NES game in existence. It's believed that less than 200 copies have surfaced and fewer than 20 of them are complete. If you want a copy of Stadium Events, be prepared to shell out over $2,000 for a cartridge alone. Complete copies have been sold for over 10 grand. Damn! A factory-sealed Stadium Events was sold on eBay for $22,800 in 2011, making it the highest confirmed price ever paid for the game. Stadium Events also had a European, or PAL release. I have the West German PAL Stadium Events before you here. While not nearly as valuable as the North American version, these cartridges can still be a little pricey. Now, even though Athletic World and the Family Fun Fitness Pad were recalled as well, they are not nearly as valuable as Stadium Events. This is due in large part to their slightly higher distribution and longer availability. Chances are, if you are a collector, then you probably already own World Class Track Meet and one or both versions of Athletic World, as these carts can be purchased for around $5 each. Now, if you want a copy of Stadium Events but do not want to pay the large sum of money that comes with it, then I recommend buy the PAL version. As I said earlier, the PAL carts can be a little pricey, but not nearly as much as Stadium Events. I got this PAL cart on eBay for $150. Now, at first glance, it looks okay, but this cart does have damage to the label and the cartridge itself. Still though, not a bad deal, but be prepared to pay up to $500 for one of these in good condition. Now, if you do have the pocketbook size to afford the North American Stadium Events, be careful. Many shady sellers have tried to sell the PAL versions off as the North American version. Experienced gamers know this and know what to look for, but if you are new to game collecting, there are some easy ways to tell the difference between the PAL and the North American versions. For starters, Stadium Events title is on one line for the North American version, whereas the PAL version has it on 2 lines. Also, the PAL version sometimes has a picture to the right of the title, as you can see on my West German PAL Stadium Events. But the North American version never has a picture next to the title. And lastly, the Nintendo seal of approval on the North American version is round and transparent with the background, whereas the PAL version is oval-shaped and white in the background. Now, big question, where to find one of these games? I would recommend eBay as the safest means of finding this game, as copies do pop up sometimes, but be prepared to pay a high dollar amount. If you are fortunate enough to find a copy for sale at a flea market or garage sale, then you better take full advantage. You will never get that opportunity in this lifetime. If you do decide to buy from Craigslist or classifieds, or you do find the game for one of these avenues, just use caution, especially if it's too good to be true, because it usually is. Okay, that about wraps things up. I hope this video has been helpful and informative. Drumus at Retro Cards and More. See you next time.